This boy, Kyung-min, was cornered in the bathroom by two school bullies. The arrogant leader relentlessly threatened him to get out. Just as the heavier bully was about to hit him, the rich kid next to him said, "Don't you have any new tricks? It's just punching people every single day. I'm bored of it." The bully leader thought for a moment and then came up with an even more sinister idea. He told Kyung-min to take off his pants and perform a degrading act. When Kyung-min refused, the bully grabbed his hair and slammed his head against the wall. Still not satisfied, he started to pull Kyung-min's pants down himself. Humiliated, Kyung-min said he would do it himself. But ultimately, he couldn't bring himself to carry out the humiliating act. He seized an opportunity to escape, but he was quickly caught. The consequence was even more brutal humiliation. The rich kid stomped hard on Kyung-min's hand, the pain causing him to scream. After they had vented their rage, the rich kid pulled Kyung-min up by his hair and told him to continue the performance. The two bullies watched, laughing arrogantly. This act became a haunting memory that Kyung-min would never be able to erase. Kyung-min's misery didn't end there. When he got home, he faced more humiliation and beatings from his father for not picking him up. Drunk, his father tried to barge into his room to teach him a lesson. Outside the door, Kyung-min's mother pleaded with his father to stop, only to be brutally beaten herself. Terrified, Kyung-min locked his door and hid in a corner. He endured this violent environment until the end of 10th grade. Thinking the nightmare was over, he looked forward to a new life in 11th grade. He was even more excited when his best friend, Jong-suk, was placed in the same class. They secretly celebrated with a drink. But on the first day of school, as soon as he entered the classroom, Kyung-min heard a familiar voice. The same bullying ringleader was in his class. He greeted Kyung-min with feigned enthusiasm. The nightmare had returned. Seeing Kyung-min frozen in place, the bully ordered him over and proceeded to humiliate him in front of the entire class, bringing up the previous incident in the bathroom. His newfound hope was instantly replaced by fear. Kyung-min ran to the bathroom and cried. Jong-suk witnessed the scene, wanting to comfort him but not knowing what to say. When he got home, Kyung-min told his mother what happened. She urged him to transfer schools. But what difference would another school make? The rumors would follow him. His life would only become more difficult. Faced with this, Kyung-min chose to give in. He told himself he just had to endure 2 more years. From that day on, the bully continued his torment. He forced Kyung-min to do his homework every day, slapping him if he was even a minute late. He further humiliated Kyung-min by making him crawl on all fours in front of the class while they mocked and laughed. Kyung-min looked desperately at Jong-suk for help, but his friend was powerless. Even worse, the teacher witnessed this and looked the other way. 20 years passed in a blink. Kyung-min was now grown, the owner of the largest taxi company in the area, but the trauma of his past never faded. It plagued him with nightmares and even hallucinations. He suffered from depression, but after meeting his wife, he began treatment and his life gradually improved. For a while, he was able to forget the pain he had endured. However, one day, his wife unknowingly unearthed his childhood trauma when she looked through old photos of him. Kyung-min immediately hallucinated, seeing a man wearing a pig mask. Witnessing her husband's repeated breakdowns, his wife finally understood the depths of his past fears. Unable to bear his suffering, she decided to take a drastic measure. During dinner, she slipped sleeping pills into his drink. Then, she took the pills herself, lit charcoal briquettes inside the house, and lay down beside Kyung-min, waiting for death. Unbeknownst to her, Kyung-min's long-term use of antidepressants had built up a resistance to the medication. He woke up quickly, but his wife had already succumbed to the carbon monoxide poisoning. As he regained his composure, Kyung-min saw the pig-masked man again. This time, he was consumed by a thirst for revenge. The police quickly received a report of a charcoal suicide in the neighborhood. Jin A, the detective in charge, observed the scene, noting the scattered pills and the burning charcoal. It appeared to be a straightforward suicide. Just as an officer was about to call it in, they discovered something on the window. Scrawled across the glass were the words, "To Detective Jong-suk, long time no see. It's Kyung-min. How are you?" Jin A and her team were stunned. They rushed downstairs to review the security footage. Sure enough, the camera captured Kyung-min leaving the apartment. The name Jong-suk was familiar to Jin-ae. He was a younger colleague who had graduated from the same high school. She immediately called Jong-suk, who was now working for the Seoul investigative team. Jong-suk, busy with another case, saw Jin-ae's call and quickly declined it. Jin-a returned to the station to investigate Kyung-min and Jong-suk's backgrounds. She discovered they had attended the same high school and even transferred in the same year. This fueled her curiosity. That evening, she called Jong-suk again to explain the situation. Jong-suk, finally home after a long day, knew something serious was happening when his senior officer requested an urgent meeting at midnight. As he asked where to meet, his doorbell rang. Jin-a had come to his apartment. She barged in and started searching the place. After confirming nothing suspicious, she finally explained the situation to Jong-suk, showing him photos of the scene and the message on the window. Jin-a suspected Kyung-min left the message as a signature, boasting about his crime. Mentioning Jong-suk's name could mean he was the next target. What puzzled them was why a former classmate, whom he hadn't contacted since high school, would suddenly mention Jong-suk's name. The autopsy report came back quickly. High levels of sleeping pills and carbon monoxide were found in the victim's body, confirming a typical suicide. However, the marks on her neck weren't consistent with a struggle, leading Jin-ae and Jong-suk to revisit their initial assumptions. They tracked Kyung-min's credit card records to the psychiatric clinic he frequented. There, they found Dr. Ha-yoon in tears. It turned out that Kyung-min's wife was her childhood friend's younger sister. They were very close, and it was at the wife's request that Dr. Ha-yoon treated Kyung-min. His mental illness stemmed from childhood abuse at the hands of his father. However, his relationship with his wife was nothing like his father's. They were deeply in love since their marriage. Jin-a asked Dr. Ha-yoon if she had recently prescribed sleeping pills to Kyung-min. After a moment of thought, she said no, but that his wife, suffering from insomnia, had recently asked for sleeping pills. Further investigation revealed that Kyung-min's wife had visited 5 different psychiatric hospitals to obtain sedatives. She had also specifically purchased charcoal briquettes from a supermarket. This lessened their suspicion of Kyung-min. Next, they went to Kyung-min's company. The manager told them the owner wasn't named Kyung-min, but Nam Chun-kai. Jin showed him a photo, confirming that Kyung-min was using an alias for his business. As they left, Jong-suk revealed to Jin that he and Kyung-min had known each other since childhood and lived in the same neighborhood during high school. They became close friends in 11th grade when they were placed in the same class. On their way back, Jin recalled the information about both of them transferring schools in 11th grade. She wanted to ask Jong-suk more about their past, but he seemed reluctant to revisit those dark times. Meanwhile, Kyung-min, having left his apartment, was determined to exact his revenge. He changed into a new suit and drove to the shop owned by the bully who had tormented him. Seeing him berating his employees in the same cruel and domineering manner, Kyung-min knew the man hadn't changed. It turned out that 5 years prior, Kyung-min had attempted revenge. He had found the heavier bully working as a mechanic. He'd given him his business card, using his position as the taxi company owner to offer a long-term partnership. Not recognizing the different name on the card, the bully, seeing Kyung-min as a potential savior, had bowed and scraped in gratitude. Thanks to this partnership, the bully had risen from a lowly mechanic to the owner of a repair shop. At that moment, witnessing the scene unfold in front of the auto repair shop, Kyung-min couldn't contain himself any longer. He gripped the knife concealed within his leather jacket, retrieved a hypodermic needle filled with anesthetic, and slowly drove up to the shop's entrance. Seeing his major client arrive, the man obediently approached, opened Kyung-min's car door, and ushered him inside. While following him, Kyung-min considered striking, but noticing others present in the shop, he refrained, pocketing the syringe and deciding to improvise. The bully invited him into a meeting room and poured him some tea. Observing the man exploiting his employees even on the weekend, Kyung-min gently reprimanded him. The man immediately went downstairs to give his employees the rest of the day off. Upon his return to the meeting room, Kyung-min was hiding behind the door, syringe at the ready, waiting for his prey to approach. But just as the man reached the door, he received a phone call, forcing Kyung-min to withdraw. The plan had failed again. During their conversation, Kyung-min learned that the man's wife and daughter were visiting her parents. Seizing the opportunity, he mentioned a recent argument with his own wife and expressed his reluctance to go home, suggesting instead that they have a few drinks at the man's house. Faced with this request from his important client, the man couldn't refuse and politely invited him over. Kyung-min poured him a drink, and they sat down to talk. The man, oblivious to the implications of Kyung-min's words, failed to realize they were veiled allusions to his own demise. Later, Kyung-min went to the bathroom, wrestling with his conscience. Should he do it or not? Muttering to himself, he recalled the bully's face, the same face that represented a living hell for Kyung-min, yet seemed to evoke fond memories for the man himself. He clenched the knife, his eyes burning with a fiery resolve to consume the man who had tormented him. Meanwhile, the bully was drinking freely, unaware of the impending danger. Suddenly, the TV news reported a couple's suicide. The husband, the owner of a company, wasn't that the man he was drinking with? As the man began to process the news, Kyung-min, without hesitation, smashed the TV with a bottle. He dropped the pretense and revealed his name. The overweight bully, upon hearing the name, was taken aback. He had completely forgotten the classmate he had bullied. A cruel irony considering the torment and sleepless nights it had caused Kyung-min, while he himself had seemingly moved on without a second thought. This fueled Kyung-min's rage. He yelled, "It's me, Kyung-min, from high school," unleashing the pent-up resentment he had carried for so long. The bully's memory slowly returned, and he looked incredulous at what he had done. By then, however, the anesthetic Kyung-min had slipped into his drink was taking effect. Upon hearing Kyung-min confess, "I deliberately approached you to kill you and silence you," the bully reacted instinctively. He threw his glass at Kyung-min and lunged at him. In the ensuing struggle, Kyung-min dropped both the knife and the syringe. Finding himself at a disadvantage, Kyung-min grabbed a golf club and swung it. The bully, seizing an opportunity, shoved him towards a glass door. The impact sent Kyung-min crashing to the floor. He quickly recovered and kicked the bully, who clutched his head, cursing Kyung-min. Spotting a fruit knife on a table, the bully grabbed it, intending to finish Kyung-min off, but Kyung-min fought back. In that critical moment, the anesthetic finally took full effect, saving Kyung-min's life. When he regained consciousness, he was stripped naked and glued to the wall with superglue, a chain around his neck. He looked desperately at Kyung-min, begging for mercy, claiming that his actions in high school were just jokes between friends. But these words only fueled Kyung-min's fury. What the bully considered a joke, Kyung-min saw as an unending nightmare. Without hesitation, Kyung-min sliced the bully's thigh. As the man screamed in agony, Kyung-min, with mock kindness, called the police. Only then did the bully grasp the gravity of the situation. He frantically apologized, but it was too late. Kyung-min calmly sat before him and said he would spare him if he could crawl to him. The bully struggled to free himself, the superglue ripping skin and drawing blood. But Kyung-min had no intention of showing mercy. He walked over, knife in hand, and with a few swift strokes, severed the bully's arteries. They both stared down at the spreading blood, the scene mirroring the bully's most humiliating act against Kyung-min. The bully seemed to understand and shook his head desperately. The memory of that humiliation, the slaps, the relentless bullying surged through Kyung-min. He refused to back down and sent the bully to his final reckoning. He then ripped down a photo of the bully's happy family, rolled it up, dipped it in the man's blood, scrawled a message on the wall for Jong-suk, tossed the blood-soaked scroll to the floor, and walked away. Meanwhile, Jin-ae and Jong-suk were having dinner, discussing the case. Jin-ae asked Jong-suk what had happened between him and Kyung-min back in 11th grade, why they had suddenly stopped being friends. Jong-suk was reluctant to talk about it. Just then, Jin-ae's phone rang. Upon hearing the news, they rushed to the crime scene to find the bully's gruesome remains. His long-lost friend had left a message, inviting him to join his quest for revenge. The weight of the situation crashed down on Jong-suk. The unfamiliar officers at the scene speculated that the name left by the killer might be an accomplice. Only Jong-suk understood the significance of the blood-soaked scroll lying on the ground. The horrific sight of the bully's corpse filled him with terror and a wave of nausea so intense he had to flee the scene. By the time Jin-ae came looking for him, he was gone. Jong-suk, meanwhile, had fled to a bar, seeking solace in alcohol, but the memories kept flooding back. Kyung Min, bullied and cowering on the ground. Jong Suk wanting to intervene, but held back by a classmate's warning. If you get involved, you'll be next. Then, the teacher arriving, choosing the wealthy bully as class president, based solely on his academic performance and family background. After the teacher left, the humiliation continued. The rich kid used Kyung Min as an example to intimidate the class, establishing his dominance. Jong Suk seethed, but too young and afraid, he remained silent. Only after the bullies left did he help the trembling Kyung Min up from the floor. After school, witnessing the other students mocking Kyung Min, Jong Suk urged him to tell his parents and the teachers. But Kyung Min had tried that in 10th grade. For someone like him, it was useless. That night, Jong Suk lay awake, tormented by Kyung Min's words, "Don't show weakness, or those bullies will exploit it." Jong Suk refused to believe that these bullies were untouchable, and he vowed never to live in fear like Kyung Min. So, that night, he slipped a letter exposing the rich kid into the school's suggestion box. But that act of defiance, he now realized, had plunged both him and Kyung Min into darkness. Back in the present, the alcohol fueled a nightmare. He dreamt of Kyung Min inviting him to join his revenge. In the dream, hands choked him, stealing his breath. He woke up gasping, chugged a bottle of water, and slowly calmed down. He then called Jin to inquire about the investigation. Jin advised him to stay out of it, but Jong Suk insisted on being involved, revealing Kyung Min's history of being severely bullied, and that the dead man was one of the perpetrators. Hearing this, Jin chose to trust him. Together, they went to the Forensic Institute. Meanwhile, the police had identified the name left at the crime scene. An officer recognized it as the name of China's companion, and a team was dispatched to apprehend him. At the institute, Jong Suk and Jin learned from the medical examiner that Kyung Min had deliberately severed the bully's arteries, watching him slowly bleed to death before finally smashing his prized tea set with a knife. The act spoke of a deep-seated hatred. As they left the institute and were about to drive away, the police stopped them. Jong Suk's name had surfaced twice at the crime scene, and he was taken into custody for questioning. Sitting in the interrogation room, Jong Suk realized that perhaps only he knew why Kyung Min had invited him to participate in this. He remembered the day after he'd slipped the letter into the suggestion box. The homeroom teacher had called the wealthy bully to his office. Jong Suk had expected a reprimand, but instead, the teacher praised the bully, deliberately showing him the anonymous complaint. The teacher told him that as long as he had exemplary behavior and good grades, he could even defecate in the classroom and people would praise him. The bully smirked as he read the letter detailing his bullying and unsuitability for class president. Then, the teacher returned to the classroom, sent the bully out, told everyone to close their eyes, and asked anyone who had a problem with the bully's leadership to raise their hand. The classroom remained silent. Only Jong Suk, without hesitation, raised his hand. The bully, standing outside, saw everything. Just as Jong Suk sensed something was amiss in the teacher's tone, he felt a presence approaching. He opened his eyes to find the teacher staring down at him with a menacing look. He glanced back to see his bullied friend, sitting motionless. The teacher then lectured the class, emphasizing the class president's importance and the need for unity and support, warning against any dissent. After the chilling speech, the teacher left. Jong Suk fumed at the apathy of his classmates, especially his bullied friend, who had shown no reaction. After school, he confronted Kyung Min. "Why didn't you raise your hand?" Kyung Min, realizing Jong Suk was the one who wrote the letter, explained that he had tried talking to teachers and parents before, but it had been futile. He urged Jong Suk to be sensible and not cause more trouble. Jong Suk, furious, declared he wouldn't bother with Kyung Min's problems anymore. But on his way home, he encountered Kyung Min's mother. She knew everything and thanked Jong Suk for being Kyung Min's friend, as he had no others. Her words softened Jong Suk's heart, and he forgave Kyung Min. The next day at school, the quietest student in the class stopped Jong Suk, uttering cryptic words, "You can't save your friend. They're not on the same level as Kang Min. Bullies like Kang Min are dogs, and victims like them are just pigs waiting to be slaughtered." He then burst into laughter and walked off to play basketball alone, leaving Jong Suk completely bewildered. When he returned to the classroom, Jong Suk found Kyung Min being bullied by Kang Min and his crew. They had even posted lookouts at the door. Kang Min demanded to know who had written the incriminating letter. But Kyung Min refused to betray his friend. Seeing Kang Min's suspicion fall on Jong Suk, Kyung Min took the blame. This only enraged Kang Min further, and he brutally intensified the bullying. He forced Kyung Min to cross his arms over his neck in a mock suicide gesture, applying increasing pressure. It was becoming genuinely life-threatening. As Kyung Min struggled to breathe, his eyes rolling back in his head, Jong Suk, standing by, clenched his fists. Finally, he spoke up, determined to stop them. Jong Suk's attempt to intervene was immediately thwarted by the school bully's intervention. The whole group then headed to the rooftop to watch a showdown between Jong Suk and the school's reigning tough guy. At first, Jong Suk was hopelessly outmatched, taking a beating without being able to fight back. The other students simply watched the spectacle, no one offering to help. The bully landed blow after blow. Then, seizing an opportunity, Jong Suk tackled him and launched a counterattack. But the bully broke free. Just when it seemed the fight was lost, Jong Suk spat blood in the bully's face, using the distraction to turn the tide. He straddled the bully, raining down blows until he finally conceded defeat. Witnessing this, Kang Min, who had been observing the fight, looked at Jong Suk with newfound respect. He decided against further harassment and simply left. The other students, stunned that the seemingly weak Jong Suk had defeated the school bully, saw him in a new light. Back in the present, Jong Suk sat in an interrogation room, being questioned by the police. The curly-haired detective in charge was highly suspicious and demanded an explanation. Jong Suk insisted that he would find Kyung Min himself, knowing that Kyung Min wouldn't stop there. He warned that if they didn't find him soon, there would be another victim. The detective, however, remained unconvinced. Just then, enraged by their colleague's arrest, Jong Suk's team from Seoul stormed into the interrogation room, demanding his release. At that critical moment, a phone rang. It was the forensics lab. They had pinpointed the victim's time of death to between 10 o'clock and 11 p.m., a time when Jong Suk had been with China. This alibi proved he couldn't be the killer, and the police, finally dropping their suspicions, released him. Meanwhile, just as Jong Suk predicted, Kyung Min, having recovered, was preparing for his next move. He got out of his car, burned the blood-stained clothes he'd worn during the attack, and drove to a deserted alley where a man, the manager of a company, was waiting. They entered a dark basement dominated by a wall of security monitors. This was Kyung Min's secret base. The man inquired about Kyung Min's injuries and provided him with a change of clothes designed to disguise his identity and evade surveillance cameras. The manager reported that he'd positioned vehicles at designated locations according to plan as a precaution. He handed Kyung Min keys to all the company cars, carefully noting each vehicle's location for easy access. Kyung Min then pulled a bottle of reflective coating from his bag. Unsure of its purpose, he was told to spray it on the cars, allowing them to reflect light and disrupt surveillance cameras. Kyung Min, curious about where the manager had acquired this, received only a cryptic smile and a claim that it was found on the street. The manager explained his unwavering loyalty stemmed from a past debt to Kyung Min. If it hadn't been for Kyung Min's help, he would have been lost to despair. He was now determined to repay the favor, even if it cost him his life. He added that there were many others who shared this unwavering devotion. Kyung Min handed the manager a large sum of money to distribute among his loyal followers. He then changed his clothes and car, ready to continue his revenge. At the same time, Jinna had been suspended for her unauthorized investigation. Determined to uncover the truth, she and Jong Suk transferred to the Seoul Police Department. They learned that Kyung Min's class had 32 students. One, a bully, was already dead. Many others had participated in or supported Kang Min's torment of Kyung Min, making them potential targets. The entire police department mobilized, tracking down Kyung Min's former classmates and asking if they'd experienced anything unusual. However, their lives seemed ordinary. Strangely, everyone was reluctant to discuss Kyung Min, claiming not to remember him, as if deliberately avoiding the subject. This left only Kang Min, the class president, whom Jong Suk decided to confront. Kang Min, leveraging family connections, had become a prominent hospital doctor. Outwardly gentle and refined, he hadn't changed inside. When Jong Suk arrived, Kang Min feigned ignorance, only recognizing his former classmate after Jong Suk showed his ID. Jong Suk saw through the facade. Unwilling to endure the charade, he got straight to the point. asking if Kang Min had experienced anything unusual and urging him to report any contact with Kyung Min to the police. Instead of gratitude, Kang Min was dismissive. He expressed no remorse for his past actions, even claiming to have enjoyed tormenting his classmates. He then taunted Jong-suk. "Didn't your family sell fish to make ends meet? No wonder I can still smell the stench on you." Jong-suk, furious, restrained himself, reminding Kang Min of his duty to cooperate and not act alone. He then left. As a police officer, his priority was finding Kyung Min, but seeing Kang Min unchanged, a part of him wished Kyung Min would finish him off. While the police were diligently investigating Kyung Min's former classmates, he wasn't targeting them at all. Instead, he was after their homeroom teacher, the one who had shielded the bullies, now the school principal. As the principal left work and prepared to drive home, the car behind him relentlessly honked and flashed its high beams. Finally, he snapped, cursing at the driver. The car then sped past and stopped directly in front of him. Infuriated, the principal got out to confront the driver, unleashing a torrent of abuse. The driver remained impassive, ignoring his tirade. Only when the principal turned to return to his car did the driver emerge. Expecting an apology, the principal was instead met with a knife. Terrified, he scrambled back into his car and sped off, assuming he'd encountered a madman, unaware that the man was his former student from 20 years ago. The next day, as he left the school's administrative building, he spotted the same man lurking near his car. Hearing the principal's approach, the man quickly retreated. Still oblivious to the danger, the principal demanded to know why he was there. Then he saw the knife in Kyung Min's hand and froze in terror. Reaching his car, he saw words carved into its side. Panicked and enraged, the principal cursed and called the police. Meanwhile, Jin A's investigation revealed that the deceased bully's last phone call had been to his former homeroom teacher. She rushed to the school to find him hiding in his office, too scared to leave. When he saw Jin A, a police officer, he assumed she was there about his stalker. Hearing his story, Jin A showed him Kyung Min's picture. The principal confirmed it was the same man. Jin A immediately left to call for backup. As she walked down the dark hallway, a figure wielding a knife lunged at her. Jin A drew her gun, but the attacker, undeterred, continued to advance. Only when she fired did he stop. Fortunately, the gun had been unloaded. Otherwise, there would have been another body on the floor. Suddenly, the principal opened his door, distracting Jin A. The attacker seized the opportunity and escaped. Jin A gave chase, calling for backup. The two cars then engaged in a high-speed, dangerous pursuit through the streets. Following a lead from a colleague, Jong-suk learned that Kyung Min had paid a large sum to his underlings after they murdered their former classmate. These men all had prior records, including drug offenses. Some had even been arrested by Jong-suk's unit in the past. Jong-suk located their hideout and single-handedly subdued two of them. He not only extracted a confession that they had supplied Kyung Min with the anesthetic, but also uncovered a bigger secret. Kyung Min had begun targeting Kang Min a year earlier, paying drug dealers to turn him into an addict. This method of revenge was a particularly cruel blow to Kang Min, a man who valued his reputation more than his life. Upon learning the truth, Jong-suk knew Kang Min was in danger. But before contacting him, he hesitated. Back in high school, he'd thought that after beating up their overweight classmate, they wouldn't have any more trouble. He hadn't anticipated Kang Min's severe retaliation. Kang Min had covered their chairs in super glue, and when they were stuck, he'd kicked Jong-suk to the ground and brutally beaten him. But now, 20 years later, Jong-suk was a police officer. His sense of duty compelled him to act, so he called Kang Min. Kang Min was in the underground parking garage, about to head home, when he discovered his tires had been slashed. As he was about to call a cab, he received Jong-suk's call. Jong-suk warned him of the danger and urged him to seek refuge at the nearest police station. The arrogant Kang Min, oblivious to the gravity of the situation, instead insulted Jong-suk. Jong-suk, having little patience for him, revealed Kang Min's drug use and sternly warned, "If you don't listen, I'll be picking up your body." This sobered Kang Min, and he hailed a taxi to the police station. Worried, Jong-suk prepared to track Kang Min's location, but then received a call from Jin A. She claimed to have located Kyung Min, who was about to attack their former homeroom teacher, and was in pursuit with the police. After a chase, they forced the suspect's car to stop. But when the man stepped out, Jin-a realized it wasn't Kyung-min. She'd been tricked. Meanwhile, Kang-min, on his way to the police station, witnessed the entire scene from his taxi. "This isn't the way to the police station," he told the driver. The driver responded, "If you go to the police station now, everyone will know you're a drug addict, and your precious reputation will be ruined." The driver was Kyung-min, though Kang-min didn't recognize him until he addressed him as class president, triggering Kang-min's high school memories. As the gravity of the situation dawned on him, Kyung-min accelerated. Kang-min ordered him to stop. When he didn't comply, Kang-min lashed out, using his belt to strangle Kyung-min. Kyung-min struggled violently, stabbing Kang-min's hand. Sirens wailed nearby. Unfazed, Kyung-min produced a video of Kang-min using drugs. "If you don't do what I say," he threatened, "I'll release this video in 8 hours. Then the whole world will know you're an addict." Frozen, Kang-min, obsessed with his image, could only sit passively, trapped. Kyung-min exited the car and stood in the middle of the road. Jong-suk, driving frantically, spotted him. But as Jong-suk got out of his car, Kyung-min bolted. The chase led to a parking lot, where Jong-suk received a call from Kyung-min. He asked Jong-suk how he was doing, saying Jong-suk was born to be a cop and was his only true friend in the world. Jong-suk searched while trying to reason with Kyung-min, pleading with him to stop before he became a monster in everyone's eyes. But Kyung-min was beyond redemption. He told Jong-suk he needed to be part of their plan, stunning Jong-suk. Did he have accomplices? Then Kyung-min asked, "Have you forgotten about Cheol?" The question stopped Jong-suk dead in his tracks. Kyung-min emerged from the shadows. The two former friends, now killer and cop, faced each other. Jong-suk, shaken, aimed his gun at Kyung-min, ordering him to surrender. Kyung-min pointed behind Jong-suk and said excitedly, "Cheol is standing right there, watching you." Fear gripped Jong-suk, but there was no one behind him. Kyung-min had vanished. Jong-suk, distracted and searching through the darkness, was ambushed and knocked unconscious. When he awoke, Kyung-min was gone, taking his gun with him. Jong-suk immediately retrieved footage from nearby security cameras. Back at the station, he confirmed Kyung-min had his gun. He also found a photograph in his pocket. It showed Kyung-min, Jong-suk, and a young boy named Cheol standing together. The photo unnerved Jong-suk. He felt as if Cheol had truly returned. Just then, Jin-a burst in, interrupting his thoughts. He quickly pocketed the photo and wiped the sweat from his brow. Jin-a was there to confront him. She accused him of knowing Kyung-min's target was Kang-min all along. Why had he directed them to investigate other classmates? Moreover, her investigation revealed they had all transferred schools the same year. What exactly had happened in their junior year? Realizing he couldn't hide the truth any longer, Jong-suk recounted his high school experience as the target of relentless bullying. He described the superglue incident, his breaking free, and his retaliation. He had tackled Kang-min and bitten him, only to be brutally beaten by Kang-min's cronies. Finally, the homeroom teacher appeared and promptly stopped the fight. However, instead of reprimanding or punishing the two, he announced a day-long teacher-led activity. The purpose of this activity was for the students to learn about different professions, helping them find suitable careers in the future. The first person invited on stage was Kang-min's father. With the homeroom teacher's enthusiastic introduction, the class erupted in applause. Kang-min's father stepped onto the podium, introducing himself as the director of a hospital and a doctor. Without much fanfare, he pulled out a stack of amusement park tickets and handed them out to the class. This immediately earned him praise from all the students and further solidified Kang-min's popularity. But the homeroom teacher's scheme didn't end there. Next, he invited Jong-suk's mother. However, Jong-suk's mother was unaware of this activity. When the teacher tried to introduce her profession, she quickly declined, stating that she was uneducated and only a fishmonger at the market, so she had nothing to share. This immediately caused the class to erupt in laughter, making Jong-suk feel ashamed of his family's social standing. Yet, the homeroom teacher continued to fan the flames. At his insistence, Jong-suk's mother described her work, but her simple explanation was taken as a joke by the class. The teacher wore a satisfied expression, as this was his goal, to develop the students' class consciousness through their parents' status, and to warn Jong-suk to stay in line. From then on, the bullying against Jong-suk and Kyung-min intensified. Jong-suk no longer dared to confront them. But the bullies wouldn't let him be, targeting him relentlessly. They even forced Jong-suk to play a suicide game. Jong-suk was tortured to the point of struggling to breathe, kneeling on the ground, but the entire class looked the other way, no one willing to help. Just as Jong-suk was about to suffocate, a boy charged forward, knocking the bully to the ground. Without hesitation, the boy repeatedly punched Kang-min in the face. The school bully's cronies tried to intervene, but the boy swiftly subdued them with just 2 kicks. Seeing his impressive fighting skills, the other bullies backed off. He warned Kang-min's group to stop harassing Jong-suk. With that, he left the classroom. That boy was Kim Cheol. From that day forward, Kim Cheol became good friends with Jong-suk and Kyung-min. The three were inseparable. After hearing the story, everyone at the police station was in disbelief and determined to seek justice for the 2 victims. At that moment, they received a video sent by Kyung-min. In the video, Kang-min, their former tormentor, knelt on the ground, confessing his wrongdoing and apologizing to Jong-suk. Jin-e, watching the video, noticed the camera shaking violently and the setup resembling the inside of a camper van. She recalled the company chief mentioning Kyung-min's love for traveling in his camper van. Immediately, they sprang into action, tracking down the location of Kyung-min's van. But when they arrived, they found it empty. At that moment, Jong-suk received another video. In it, class president Kang-min was choking himself, mimicking the suicidal act he had previously used to humiliate them. Kyung-min then called, saying the video was just a small consolation for Jong-suk. He had to witness Kang-min sincerely apologize in person. Now, it was time for Kang-min's punishment. Kyung-min relentlessly reminded Jong-suk not to forget what they went through 20 years ago, and not to forget Kim Cheol. Forgetting would be a betrayal of him. He then told Jong-suk that he had seen Kim Cheol in the storage room of their old house a year ago. Hearing this, Jong-suk was in disbelief. He froze, stunned. Panic began to set in as he seemed to see a boy wearing a pig mask standing not far away. As his vision cleared, he saw Kim Cheol, his deceased friend, staring at him. Jong-suk collapsed in terror, his eyes filled with fear. The memory of the 3 of them was still vivid. After school one day, they were walking home together. Kim Cheol asked if they hated Kang-min and his group. Without hesitation, they replied, yes. Kim Cheol then led them to a hidden shrine. He pulled a pig mask from his backpack and put it on. He told them, dogs are born loved by humans, but pigs are only noticed when they become food. Kang-min is a dog, and we are all pigs to be slaughtered. If we want to defeat Kang-min and his group, we have to become the masters of the dogs. Kim Cheol took a knife from his backpack and handed it to Kyung-min, telling him to kill the cat in front of them. Terrified, Kyung-min refused and ran away. Kim Cheol then gave the knife to Jong-suk, saying Kyung-min would return. Jong-suk, though afraid, remembering the cruelty of Kang-min and his group, mustered the courage to kill the cat. Kyung-min, hiding outside, covered his ears to block out the cat's cries. He then recalled the humiliation and abuse he had suffered at the hands of Kang-min. With that thought, he finally stood up, took the knife from Jong-suk, and without hesitation, stabbed the cat again. From that moment on, they were no longer foolish pigs, but monsters created to punish their tormentors. Back in the present, Jin saw Jong-suk lying on the ground, trembling, his eyes fixed on something. But when she turned to look, there was nothing there. She picked up Jong-suk's phone and heard Kyung-min's voice. He said his next targets were Kang-min's 2 sidekicks. After Jong-suk calmed down, Jin again pleaded with him to stay out of it. But Jong-suk remained resolute, knowing only he could bring this to an end. Jin then called her colleague, asking him to send protection for Kyung-min's next targets. Suddenly, a passing car caught their attention. But after checking the license plate, they realized it wasn't Kyung-min's. At that moment, Jong-suk realized something. He noted that if the camper van were moving, the video wouldn't be so still. Moreover, the objects around them, just like in the camper van, were vibrating. Therefore, it was likely they were on a boat, and the only nearby water was the Han River. They immediately drove to the Han River. Meanwhile, a police officer was tracking Kang-min's 2 henchmen using their phone locations. He arrived at a street where they were drinking, but he was too late. He could only watch helplessly as they were forced into a car and driven away. Two small-time crooks were brought to Kang Min's holding room and woke him from his drunken slumber. They discovered that Kang Min and his crew, who had kidnapped them, had already left, leaving behind a gun and a cell phone on the table. Just as Kang Min reached for the phone to call the police, he received a call from the director of his workplace. It turned out Kang Min had uploaded the video of him soliciting prostitutes online. His reputation, which he valued above all else, was ruined. He calmly hung up the phone, the weight of his foolish actions finally hitting him. Suddenly, police sirens wailed outside. The two crooks excitedly cried for help, oblivious to Kang Min, who was slowly raising the gun to his mouth. Jin-ae and Jong-suk, having just arrived, followed the commotion to the room. However, they were too late. Kang Min lay dead in a pool of blood. The gun he used to kill himself was the same one Kang Min had stolen from Jong-suk earlier. The sight of Kang Min's tragic end filled Jong-suk with remorse. He then turned and noticed a Rubik's Cube on the table. He suspected Kang Min's next target might be the owner of the cube. He scrolled through photos of all his classmates for hours, but couldn't figure out who it belonged to. At this point, Jong-suk started experiencing hallucinations. He thought he heard Kim Cheol calling him, so he immediately left the scene and went to the psychiatrist's house. It was the middle of the night, and no one was there. He sat outside and waited all night. The doctor found him there the next morning when she arrived for work. As soon as he was inside, he asked about Kang Min's condition a year prior. The doctor recalled that after Kang Min returned from his old house, he became averse to treatment and avoided contact with others, only seeing the doctor when he needed medication. He even started talking to himself. Hearing that Kang Min's symptoms mirrored his own, Jong-suk became worried he was going insane like Kang Min. He didn't elaborate on the cause of his concerns, but asked the doctor for some medication. The doctor recognized Jong-suk's deteriorating mental state, but didn't pry, simply advising him to seek treatment as soon as possible to avoid potential psychosis. She also warned him that if he experienced any more hallucinations or encountered anyone in this delusional state, he should absolutely avoid interacting with them. If he engaged, they could become real figures in his mind. Jin also grew suspicious of Jong-suk. His behavior over the past 2 days had been strange. She went to the evidence room to investigate and discovered that Jong-suk had checked out a gun. Furthermore, the gun Kang Min used to kill himself matched Jong-suk's. Back in her office, she noticed a USB drive plugged into Jong-suk's computer. She checked its contents and found footage from the parking garage incident. The video revealed that Kang Min had taken Jong-suk's gun and seemingly slipped something into Jong-suk's pocket. Jin-ae and her colleague went back to the scene and retrieved footage from a nearby car's dashcam. Zooming in, they discovered the item was a photo of 3 people, Jong-suk, Kang Min, and an unidentified boy between them. Finally, Jin-ae hid the truth from Jong-suk and sought out the weakest, most bespectacled boy in the class at the time. She wanted to know who the boy standing in the middle of the photo was. Chan-dong told her that it was Kim Cheol, a close friend of Jong-suk and Kang Min, and a notorious fighter in their class. When Jin-ae tried to glean more details, Chan-dong claimed his memory was hazy. Following this lead, Jin-ae visited Kim Cheol's mother. From her, she learned that Kim Cheol had committed suicide in front of everyone at school while in high school. Kim Cheol's mother then produced a photograph of several students from their high school days. Chan-dong, the boy Jin-ae had questioned the previous year, was also in the picture. On the back of the photo was the inscription to Chun. Kim Cheol's mother then handed Jin-ae a suicide note. It read, "I'm sorry, Mom. I can't take it anymore." It was clear that Kim Cheol had reached a breaking point and chosen to end his life. As it turned out, senior students had come to their class, ostensibly to put on a performance, but actually to campaign for the student council presidency. Everyone in the class was afraid of this group, including Kang Min, who was effectively a subordinate under their command. But one person didn't show them any respect, Kim Cheol. This defiance angered the seniors. Unable to directly retaliate, they warned Kang Min to deal with the situation. Faced with their orders, Kang Min didn't dare disobey. However, he was too afraid to confront Kim Cheol, so he took out his frustration by bullying Kang Min, the weakest kid in the class. Witnessing Kang Min brutally beating Kang Min, Kim Cheol finally snapped and intervened. With just 2 blows, he knocked Kang Min down. But he couldn't take on the entire group of seniors alone. Despite his fighting skill, he was overwhelmed. They pinned him down and relentlessly kicked him. Kyung Min and Jong Suk, unable to stand by idly, rushed to Kim Cheol's aid. Seizing the opportunity, Kim Cheol pulled off his belt and began to fight back, taking on the seniors one by one. He unleashed his fury on Kang Min, hitting him repeatedly. Kang Min pleaded for mercy, but Kim Cheol was relentless. He handed the belt to Jong Suk, telling him to get his revenge. As Jong Suk prepared to strike, a senior intervened, warning him to stop if he didn't want to be expelled. Jong Suk relented and dropped the belt. Soon after, the parents of the students involved in the fight were called to the school. Kang Min's father sat while Kyung Min and Jong Suk's parents knelt on the floor, tearfully begging for forgiveness. Kim Cheol's parents didn't come. He stood alone, unafraid. Seeing the boy who dared to hit his son, Kang Min's father, disregarding all decorum, slapped Kim Cheol repeatedly across the face. The teacher and principal merely looked on indifferently. Faced with the blows, Kim Cheol didn't lower his head in apology but stared back defiantly. The conflict between the students ultimately became a conflict between the parents. Kyung Min and Jong Suk received harsh punishments, while Kim Cheol was suspended for 2 weeks. Meanwhile, Kang Min, the instigator, faced no consequences. Back in the present, while investigating news articles from that year related to the incident, the police discovered an article detailing the events. The author of the article was Kim Jong-bin, a classmate from that year. Hearing the name, Jong Suk froze. He then searched for a picture of Kim Jong-bin and realized that he was the 12th grade senior who had bullied them. Notably, he was also very fond of Rubik's cubes. Therefore, Jong Suk figured Kyung Min's next target was him. A large number of police officers immediately descended upon Kim Yong-bin's company. But upon meeting Jong Suk, he recognized him instantly. He also mentioned that a year ago, Kyung Min had told him, "In a year, you'll come looking for me." It turned out that a year prior, Kyung Min had sought him out. Kyung Min had tipped off the chief investigator about Kim Yong-bin. But during their investigation, they discovered he wasn't like his other classmates. He frequently reported on topics related to school violence. Not only that, but he also donated a significant amount of money to the school, specifically for programs addressing school violence. However, upon hearing this, Kyung Min still couldn't believe this scum had changed. So, under the chief's arrangement, they posed as parents of a student who had been bullied and successfully met with Kim Yong-bin. At that time, after hearing about the bullying incident, Kim Yong-bin expressed deep sorrow, vowing to uncover the truth and speak up for the victims. Seeing the utterly fake man before him, Kyung Min almost couldn't resist attacking him with the knife he was carrying. Then, he asked, "Do you understand the victim's pain?" Kim Yong-bin didn't refute it because he truly had no right to discuss the issue. Frankly, he had been a perpetrator of school violence. This had indirectly led to the death of a high school student. He still remembered the student's name clearly. He also didn't dare forget what he had done. Therefore, he had become a reporter specializing in school violence cases. In other words, it was a form of atonement, as well as a way to prevent more lives from being ruined by school violence. Hearing this, Kyung Min's heart softened. He revealed his true identity and purpose to Kim Yong-bin. He then said, "If it weren't for what you just said, you'd be dead by now." Upon learning Kyung Min's identity, Kim Yong-bin immediately knelt and apologized. He didn't expect Kyung Min's forgiveness, but only hoped for a chance to atone. Kyung Min then took out a small notebook. Inside were all the facts about the school bullying incidents from that year. He hoped that next year, Kim Yong-bin would make the truth public. Even the truth about Kim Cheol's death, which it seemed only Jong Suk truly knew. Back in the present, Yong-bin asked Jong Suk, if Kyung Min's predictions were all correct, then how did Kim Cheol die back then? At this, Jong Suk's gaze became evasive. He was extremely tense and didn't want to bring up the past. He said, "It's been 20 years. Who cares about the truth anymore?" With that, he completely broke down and turned to leave the newsroom. Just then, he suddenly received a call from Kyung Min. It turned out everything was pre-planned. He asked Jong Suk, "Don't you think Kim Yong-bin is different from the others?" At this, Jong Suk's demeanor suddenly changed. He didn't want to care about anyone's life or death anymore. Then, Jong Suk questioned Kyung Min, Does the truth absolutely need to be made public? Do all victims have to become vengeful monsters like you? But Kyung-min urged Jong-suk, tell me how Kim Cheol died. Tell everyone the truth. Jong-suk didn't know how to begin. Just mentioning Kim Cheol was like a nightmare to him. Unwilling to confront it, he immediately hung up. Why did Kyung-min keep pushing him to reveal this truth? While driving, overcome with agitation, Jong-suk began hallucinating again. Kim Cheol appeared beside him like a ghost, constantly. No matter how much medication he took, it had no effect. His inner defenses began to crumble. Finally, he burned a photo of the three of them together, which temporarily freed him from the nightmare. Meanwhile, after hanging up the phone, Kyung-min prepared to act. He picked up a pre-filled syringe. This time, he targeted the weakest, bespectacled boy in the class. It turned out this boy had been secretly selling CDs at school to make money, but Kang-min and his gang had interfered. Faced with this, instead of fighting back, he became their slave. To curry favor with Kang-min's group, he even built a stun gun. The current was weak enough not to leave any marks. Seeing Kyung-min's vulnerability, he grew arrogant, borrowing Kang-min's authority to slap Kyung-min across the face. Kyung-min stared back in disbelief. Then, the gang subdued him. Chan-dong took out his homemade stun gun and began shocking Kyung-min. The once weakest boy in class had become a willing accomplice to the bullies. Afterward, Chan-dong handed over all the money he'd made selling CDs to Kang-min. Having received praise, he left, satisfied. Since Kim Cheol's suspension, Jong-suk and Kyung-min had been hiding out on the rooftop. But they couldn't escape Kang-min's vengeance. The gang cornered them on the roof, claiming Chan-dong had a new invention he wanted to test on them. They rushed forward, overpowering the two and pressing the stun gun against their necks. Jong-suk and Kyung-min screamed in pain. The bespectacled boy, praised by Kang-min, wagged his tail like a well-fed dog, reveling in the scene. Suddenly, a baseball rolled to his feet. Before anyone could react, Kim Cheol kicked Kang-min squarely in the chest, then rained blows down on his face. Hearing Kim Cheol disciplining his underlings, their older gang members couldn't stay put. Students from all three grades surrounded Kim Cheol on the rooftop. But he wasn't afraid. He knew that to defeat these thugs, he had to be even more ruthless. After a fierce brawl, Kim Cheol successfully took down three of them. He became the untouchable #1 figure in the high school. Now, he had his own posse of followers trailing behind him. To Jong-suk, he was like a god. However, this reign didn't last long. The police soon arrived at the school, looking for the homeroom teacher. They had discovered the body of a man, possibly Kim Cheol's long-missing father. They wanted Kim Cheol to identify the body. Chan-dong overheard this from outside the classroom door. He relayed the information to Kang-min's group, and they devised a plan to take Kim Cheol down. Heartbroken by the news about his father, Kim Cheol returned to class. To his surprise, the homeroom teacher approached him, feigning comfort as he embraced him. Then, in front of the entire class, he revealed the details of Kim Cheol's father's accidental death. He did this so everyone could offer Kim Cheol their condolences and support. Class President Kang-min led the way, but whispered cruel taunts in Kim Cheol's ear. At that moment, a voice boomed over the school intercom, announcing the truth about Kim Cheol's father's death and initiating a fundraising campaign for him. The threat Kim Cheol had just constructed in a moment turned into agreement. This whole thing was Chan-dong's doing. The unexpected part was that on the surface, he seemed kind and quiet, but behind everyone's backs, he was so vicious. Facing the applause of the entire class, Chan-dong, thick-skinned as he was, even said it was for their poor friend Kim Cheol. Their psychological manipulation was truly appalling. Therefore, no matter how good a fighter Kim Cheol was, being psychologically attacked caused him to collapse directly. That night, Jong-suk and Kyung-min went to the secret base to find Kim Cheol. Kim Cheol took a final picture with them. Then, he said that during the flag ceremony 2 days later, he would jump from the school building in front of everyone to create a psychological shadow for those who had humiliated him, so they would regret their cruel actions for the rest of their lives. Jong-suk urged him to calm down and not do anything stupid. Kyung-min also advised him to persevere, saying that everything would be alright in 2 years. But at this point, emotion had overcome reason, and he was ready. Back in the present, under the chief's investigation, Kyung-min learned that Chan Dong enjoyed a perverse slave game. He was a gold member of an organization that frequently released perverse tasks and rewards online to attract members. That night, he received a task and had to complete it before going out. Meanwhile, Kyung-min had his eye on him. He quietly followed him to the cinema and saw Chan Dong, previously meek, now slashing an old man in the front row with a knife. Afterward, he calmly took a picture and posted it on the task website. After witnessing this scene, Kyung-min realized he hadn't changed at all. He then left the cinema and went to Chan Dong's house first, discovering 2 computers and a pile of hard drives on the desk. He then saw the secret on Chan Dong's computer. It turned out that he wasn't just a participant in the game, but the one controlling it. Being bullied by Kang Min and his group in high school had caused him to develop a psychological complex, enjoying being commanded by others to achieve a sense of satisfaction, while also wanting to turn others into his slaves. Next, Kyung-min opened the wardrobe and saw it was filled with rewards intended for those who completed the tasks. At this point, Kyung-min changed his mind. He had a more fitting revenge planned for Chan Dong. When Chan Dong returned home and tried to retrieve the reward he had prepared earlier from the wardrobe, he found it completely empty. He froze, then rushed to his computer only to discover something terrifying. Kyung-min had not only taken all his equipment, but also used Chan Dong's identity to post a final task online. He had posted Chan Dong's picture, instructing players to capture and execute him. Moreover, he stated that whoever completed the task could take all of the controller's collection. This immediately attracted a fierce response from numerous members. Seeing this, Chan Dong realized he was in danger and immediately prepared to flee. But at that moment, a voice came from outside the door. He gripped the doorknob, but the person outside kept twisting it, causing him to fall back in fear. Meanwhile, the police station received a report from patrol officers, saying they thought they had spotted Kyung-min's car near their patrol area. Jong-suk and the others immediately rushed to the vicinity to investigate. But with such a vast street, who knew how long the search would take? After a while, Jong-suk suspected he might have been sent there for a different target. They immediately investigated the current addresses of each student from that year, and, sure enough, discovered the home of a classmate named Chan Dong nearby. Jong-suk led his team to Chan Dong's house, only to find him bound and gagged on the floor. He was about to free him when a man wielding an axe suddenly burst in through the back door. The axe-wielding man mistook the police officers for rivals trying to steal his mission and attacked Jong-suk's team. They struggled to subdue him and finally untied Chan Dong, only to have another group burst in through the back door. Even more people were waiting downstairs. The scene was chaotic, making it impossible to distinguish friend from foe. It seemed the cult members were driven to frenzy by the so-called offerings and missions, disregarding everything else. Taking advantage of the chaos, Chan Dong ran downstairs, pursued by a knife-wielding attacker. Jong-suk took the blow meant for Chan Dong. His colleague upstairs fired a shot to stop the brawl, but the crazed cult members were undeterred. In the end, Chan Dong was forced into a car and driven away. According to online posts, he was dumped at a designated location. Meanwhile, after Jong-suk received medical attention, Jin-a went to Chan Dong's house and retrieved a sample of his handwriting from a book. She had now collected handwriting samples from everyone in the photo. A few days earlier, Kim Cheol's mother had called her, claiming the handwriting on the suicide note wasn't her son's. This sparked Jin-a's curiosity. If Kim Cheol hadn't written the note, who had, and why? Jin-a took the handwriting samples to a forensic lab for analysis. The results confirmed her suspicions. Jong-suk had forged Kim Cheol's suicide note. Jin-a was shocked and deeply suspicious. By this time, Chan Dong had been delivered to Kyung-min. He injected Chan Dong with a sedative and proceeded with his plan. He stripped Chan Dong naked and strung him up over the bathtub. When Chan Dong regained consciousness, he didn't recognize his captor as Kyung-min, whom he had bullied in the past. Kyung-min revealed his identity and explained that if Chan Dong hadn't helped Kang Min humiliate his best friend, Kim Cheol wouldn't have taken his own life. He told Chan Dong that all of this was directly related to him. Since Chan Dong enjoyed playing the role of master, he would let him experience what it felt like to be played with in his final moments. Kyung-min turned on the water, connected a high-voltage wire, and placed one end near the bathtub. He then turned and left the scene. Chandong was terrified, screaming for help, but at this point, even God couldn't save him. Simultaneously, Jin discovered Kyung-min had sold all his assets except for his father's former karaoke bar. She went to the karaoke bar alone. There, she found Kyung-min's detailed revenge plan. She also discovered Kyung-min's diary, which documented his high school experiences, including the truth about Kim Cheol's death. Rewinding 20 years, the morning after Kim Cheol discussed his plan with his close friends, he had regretted it. When he arrived at his father's hiding place and saw the high heels his father had prepared for his mother, along with his favorite baseball, he realized how much his father loved him. It was his mother who truly saved him from suicide. Hearing her wish to see him grow up, he was filled with remorse. He didn't want to leave his mother alone in the world, to have her experience the pain of burying her own child. So he decided to pull himself together and start studying properly. But things had gone too far. If he wasn't going to actually do it, he still had to put on a show to scare them a bit. Therefore, he went to find Jong-suk, telling him that tomorrow's plan had changed. He didn't want to upset his mother anymore, so he decided not to hurt himself. From now on, he would be as obedient as Kyung-min, wouldn't cause any more trouble, and would study hard to become a righteous police officer when he grew up. Then, he told Jong-suk, "When I go up to the rooftop, Jong-suk, you stay below and shout loudly to attract everyone's attention. Wait until things have developed to a certain point, then I'll come down." But Kim Cheol didn't notice Jong-suk's expression. Jong-suk's eyes had changed. He had seen Kim Cheol as a god, but now, at the crucial moment, Kim Cheol was backing down. This was somewhat unacceptable to Jong-suk. Therefore, during the flag ceremony the next day, when all the students had gathered downstairs, Kim Cheol went up to the rooftop alone, stood tall, and spread his arms wide. The students below quickly noticed him. They all looked up at Kim Cheol with fearful eyes. At this moment, he knew he had achieved his goal. As he prepared to come down, a pair of hands pushed him from behind. By the time Kyung-min ran upstairs, he only saw Jong-suk standing there. Reading up to this point, Jin-a's eyes widened, too terrified to believe it. The next day, the newspapers reported the murder. Despite days of investigation, the police still hadn't caught the perpetrator. But unexpectedly, Kyung-min walked straight into the police station and confessed. All the reporters swarmed around him, asking if he was the murderer. Kyung-min admitted it impassively. Jong-suk, now panicked, immediately ran over, handcuffed Kyung-min for fear he would say something reckless, and took him to the interrogation room. After turning off all the recording devices, Jong-suk asked Kyung-min what his purpose was. Kyung-min told him that he just wanted to reveal the truth to everyone, including the fact that Jong-suk had pushed Kim Cheol. It turned out that Kim Cheol had gone to Kyung-min first that year, but knowing how timid Kyung-min was, he hadn't told him about the change in his suicide plan. He only wanted to get a picture of the three of them together and give Kyung-min his favorite baseball. Although he didn't say it aloud, Kyung-min guessed that Kim Cheol might have changed his mind. Therefore, he followed Kim Cheol and overheard the conversation between him and Jong-suk. But when Kim Cheol left, he saw Jong-suk still standing there, dazed. So he quietly followed Jong-suk and saw him go to their secret hideout and even write a suicide note in Kim Cheol's name. All of this gave him a bad feeling. Therefore, the next day, when Kim Cheol went up to the rooftop, Kyung-min quickly followed, only to see Jong-suk push Kim Cheol down. After being exposed, Jong-suk panicked. He said that Kyung-min was making it all up, that he hadn't done those things, and that no one would believe his lies. But seeing Jong-suk like this, Kyung-min just sneered because everything was going according to his plan. Then, a daring thought crossed Jong-suk's mind. He left the interrogation room and told his superiors that there might be another victim hidden in the mountains by Kyung-min. If they didn't find this person soon, their life would be in grave danger. Kyung-min's only demand was that Jong-suk be the one to escort him. Jong-suk's motive was to silence Kyung-min permanently, covering up his own past murder. He then sent a message to Kyung-min's men, instructing them to come and rescue him. Amidst the ensuing chaos, he planned to escape and then be able to attack Kyung-min openly. He handcuffed Kyung-min in the car, and they drove towards the forest. As Jong-suk anticipated, Kyung-min's men ambushed them. 3 taxis collided with the police car, blocking their path. They also. Jong-suk seized the opportunity to drive Kyung-min off the original route. However, he underestimated Kyung-min's uncle Tam-fuk, who, far from being foolish, had been tailing them closely. Fearing Kyung-min would expose him, Jong-suk chose his moment, flooring the gas pedal. He drove the car, with the handcuffed Kyung-min in the back, straight into the river. The car quickly sank beneath the surface. Jong-suk swam to shore, but Kyung-min, unable to escape, sank to the bottom. This was exactly what Jong-suk wanted, but he hadn't anticipated the loyal uncle, who, despite being injured, rushed to Jong-suk, grabbed the car keys from him, and without hesitation, jumped into the river to rescue Kyung-min. Watching the uncle's back as he carried Kyung-min away, Jong-suk could do nothing. After recovering, Kyung-min immediately called Kim Trung-bin, instructing him to reveal the truth about the incident from years ago, and to post online all the documents implicating those involved. The story quickly went viral, significantly impacting the lives of those implicated. Meanwhile, Jong-suk was panicked. Fearing he was next, he stormed into the hospital, found the uncle, and removed his daughter's breathing tube, threatening him to reveal Kyung-min's location. Under duress, the uncle revealed the next step in Kyung-min's plan. Unbeknownst to him, Jong-suk was falling deeper into Kyung-min's trap, whose next target was their former homeroom teacher, the one who had tolerated their bullying. Kyung-min hid in the homeroom teacher's car and kidnapped him, injecting him with a sedative. The teacher awoke to find himself locked in their old classroom. Terrified, he pleaded for mercy, but Kyung-min remained unmoved, reminding him that he was reaping what he had sown. Kyung-min then cut the teacher's vein, saying, "Since you look down on us poor students, let's see if your favorite students will come to save you." He then took out 2 phones and called one with the other, leaving one with the teacher and throwing the other onto the playground along with some fake evidence. He then used his own phone to inform the former classmates that evidence proving their innocence regarding the bullying incident was on the school grounds. Jong-suk, following the clues, also arrived at the classroom. Kyung-min was waiting for him. Their final confrontation began. Jong-suk asked the first question, "What did you see in my basement a year ago, Kyung-min?" Kyung-min said it was the first time he'd seen Kim Cheol. The photo of the 3 of them triggered a memory. Kim Cheol standing there, smiling at him. Back then, he had asked Kim Cheol why he always seemed expressionless, yet in that last photo, he was smiling. Kim Cheol had replied, "I wanted to leave them with a good memory, so they'd remember me. I hoped they'd remember the happy times and not be scared because I killed myself." Kim Cheol, kind-hearted to the end, even planned for his friends before his death. However, the selfish Jong-suk ultimately chose to sacrifice his best friend for his own comfort. He then chased Kyung-min to the rooftop. The two struggled, and Jong-suk ended up injured, collapsing on the ground. At that moment, a group of students appeared below, just like back then, but this time, they were only there to find evidence to clear themselves. No one noticed the homeroom teacher's cries for help coming from the phone lying nearby. 20 years ago, they were bystanders, and they remained bystanders now. Kyung-min stood on the rooftop, looking down at them, while Jong-suk, still unwilling to give up, crawled toward him, preparing to silence him. He grabbed Kyung-min's throat, saying that if Kyung-min didn't die, he'd continue living in the hell of his high school days, bullied and tormented. Kyung-min was nearly choked to death when police sirens wailed in the distance. Jong-suk slowly regained his senses and finally released Kyung-min, unable to go through with it. But unbeknownst to him, Kyung-min had handcuffed them together. Kyung-min said it wasn't over. He hadn't finished what Kim Cheol wanted to do. Then, they both looked in the same direction. They saw Kim Cheol slowly standing on a higher ledge. Kyung-min told Jong-suk, "Let's do what Kim Cheol couldn't." With that, he jumped. The crowd below, hearing the commotion, looked up at the rooftop. Just like 20 years ago, they were merely spectators. Jong-suk clung to the edge, and just then, Jin reached the rooftop. Jong-suk looked down at Kyung-min, who stared back at him. In that moment, he no longer wanted to run. He let go. Thus, the 3 ended their lives in the same place, reunited with their friend Kim Cheol. Witnessing this, Jin was devastated that she couldn't save them. She sat down, weeping in despair. The crowd below, terrified, scattered. The story concludes with the uncle facing legal consequences for his actions. The homeroom teacher, surprisingly, survived, though it's unknown if he'll ever wake up. Jong-suk was declared a hero who died in the line of duty and received a grand funeral. Finally, Jin visited Kim Cheol's mother and gave her Kyung-min's diary so she could learn the truth about her son's death. Bullying left an indelible scar on many, and a peaceful childhood was perhaps the simplest dream of these three friends. Maybe, in another world, they found each other again, free from the pain of bullying, filled only with the joyful laughter of friendship. And so, the story ends. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel.